Hey everybody, this is Dr. J and Professor Spike streaming live
Hello.
from New York with the final show of the year 2021, a year that saw the S&P 500 soar 27% on the year. The
Yes.
Russell, not as much. NASDAQ Composite, I think, did very well. I don't know exactly the number. We'll check these numbers during the show. And the question is, what's going to be next year? That's what we got to figure out.
Yeah.
Also, I want
certainly
to
should.
look at the relative performance of the FANGs. I know that my biggest holding, Amazon, did the worst of the five FANGs for the year, up 5%. And the best was probably Apple.
I think it was
No,
Apple.
Google was the best.
Okay.
Google was the
Well,
best.
Microsoft was a sleeper, but why isn't Microsoft a FANG?
Because it isn't an F, an A, an N, or a G. It's an M.
I know, but Meta, Facebook just changed to Meta, so maybe we could throw Microsoft in there. And you said, what was the other one? You said Nvidia. We'll just find a different one
A couple of analysts said that should be a FANG instead of Netflix. Throw
instead of
Netflix
Netflix.
out and put Nvidia
Too
in.
many N's and M's now.
Nvidia had a tremendous year.
They did. They had an unbelievable year.
As
I only
did
caught the tail end of it.
AMD, right?
Yes, I'm still holding those. I'm holding strong for next year on those.
Remember when AMD was just a company that existed because Intel needed to say they're not a monopoly?
they needed a foil. Right?
Needed a foil? What happened? Suddenly they became real.
You would go to Best Buy or whatever the store was at the time,
Yeah,
and it was like, oh, don't go with that one. Now it's got the AMD chip. You know what you can do? Slum it.
yeah. MA has an idea. Instead of calling it fangs, we should call it mangs.
Why do we call it Manning since they're such winners?
So I guess Microsoft would be
How about Manga?
one of the M's would be Microsoft, and then the two A's, the two N's would be Nvidia and Netflix. G would be Google. So what's the other one?
G's not G anymore either.
I don't know what the other M would be that he's talking about.
Well, it would be Microsoft and Meta.
But Meta is FB, isn't it?
That's the symbol, but the
okay.
name now.
That's why he wants to change it to Man. I got you.
Manning,
Manga. I got you, MA.
Well, it's not a bad idea, MA. And then it also starts with your MA.
Wrigley, I'm collecting picks over the weekend. I'm going to announce it on Stock Picks. So yeah, send it to me. Give me the 5 picks either now.
Are we gonna do 5?
Yeah, 5 picks.
Okay, 5 sounds good.
And I'll put it up.
It allows me to put.
By the way, I have a revised website that looks beautiful. I have to figure out if it's working properly. I'll take it live. It really redesigned it nice. I used Wix to redesign it, so I didn't have to be a genius,
Oh, very good.
I used Wix.
Well, there's enough of an industry out there.
Yeah. So let's talk informally about what was our biggest winner of the year, what was our biggest loser of the year. I know what mine are. Do you know what your biggest winner was, offhand?
I have no idea how well I did.
Well, I think I know your biggest winner.
What was my biggest
winner? Had to be the same as my biggest winner, Sava.
Oh, Sava. Well, but Sava went up, but then sort of like died on us.
Yeah, but I didn't have that many shares when it died.
No, you're saying nonetheless. Oh, you're talking about our biggest winners for real, not on our contest.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, for real, yeah. Sava hands above everything else.
Yeah, Sava hands above everything else for me.
Yes.
I mean, how many stocks do you get in a lifetime that go from 8 to 120, 143 or something?
Yeah, you got that after hours. But I went later on that day. I still am not complaining for like 100 I got.
To get a move like that in a matter of months is just crazy.
Oh yeah. That was definitely a blessing.
And I remember when we first bought it at 12 and it dropped to 8, you were crying to me. So what's going on?
I'm a crier in general. I cry first and laugh later.
I said buy more. Didn't I tell you buy more?
Yes, you did. Take this as an opportunity to average down, and I did.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
And my worst, I have two candidates for worst of the year, so I gotta think about it. It's either Athesis or CRISPR. I'm not sure. I think it's CRISPR because I have I lost more money.
Yeah, no. My problem was I stayed in for a lot of things. So CVM actually hurt me because I stayed into the end.
Well, CVM, I Athesis, I'm still in both of them, so
right.
they could both turn around for me. But on paper, those are my two worst losses.
And what else was the one I didn't do so great in? There were a lot of them. I was in that whole race with a Workhorse to see if they were going to get the post office.
They collapsed.
And it collapsed. So Workhorse and Romeo, I was in both of those, thinking that they would win the post office, and they didn't.
I made money on a lot of large caps that I'm now out of: FedEx, GM, Etsy. The list goes on, but I got rid of most of them. Most unfortunately, I should have stayed in all of them.
Yeah, well, some of them certainly.
Yeah, and then I made money on a lot of little shake stocks.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I made money on a lot of. I don't even remember the names of them. ALLO is one of them. That was the most.
Oh, ALLO, yes, that was.
That was the most recent one I made money on the shakers.
Yeah, no, I missed that boat.
A couple of Argon plays.
Argon had a couple, but some of the longer term ones are still dying.
I got killed on Albo. That's another one I got killed on. Forgot about that.
Yeah, no, Albo, VBIV. I'm just sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, VBIV. I got hurt on VBIV, but killed.
And then there was that bank one that's just sort of sitting there that he was really big on for a while. But overall, I mean, he had a decent year.
Yeah.
But of course, he's going to say the highlight of his year
Jiggly is funny. He wants you to do a lot.
You want me to buy more Athesis? I would sooner buy more Codex, my friend. Because I'm still in that.
For Jiggly, it was Athesis, JMIA, and GHS.
Oh, yeah, well, JMIA was hurting him a lot.
Jiggly did well with Tandem. I know that.
Yeah, except he regretted getting out too soon. Tandem. Yeah, I made a little bit of a jump here and there on Tandem.
I might have been the year before that I made money on Tandem. I can't remember if it was this year or last.
It's been a long year, Dr. J.
Yeah,
it's probably this year.
Yeah, so I'm not quite positive. All right, so I want to get started by talking about the fangs. You know what? Before we do that, let's give our 3 top picks for the year, and then we'll save 2 for the weekend. So I'll give my complete list on Sunday on the website.
All right,
and I'll talk about it on Tuesday. And meanwhile, if anybody wants to be in on the contest for 2022, just DM me at your chess. At your chess. So
you could write that, right?
Give me 5 picks for the year. 5 picks for the year, and I will post it on my website. And I will post on my website, which I hopefully am in the middle of redoing. It's called.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
It kind of came out beautiful. I got someone to do a little of the artwork for me because so it looks nice. I just got to get it functional. Okay. So I'll give you 3 picks. On the last 2, I'm holding off. Let me think over the weekend. But
okay, fair enough.
My top pick, I think, is going to be one that was earlier in the year doing quite well, and now along with the entire group that it's in has really suffered, and that's this one. Did I spell it right? Whoops, I put a semicolon in.
Oh, Tilray. Wow.
Tilray. My top pick of the year will be a rebound.
I'm still holding and holding and holding, and I would
Yeah.
love that. I would love for that to come back.
I made money on it. I was smart enough to get out when it hit 40. So I actually made money on Tilray, and I like it in the single digits. It's probably a rebound play. I was thinking between Tilray and CGC and CRON. So I think Tilray is the best of the three, but I could be wrong. Then my second best pick, or I hope is my second, $5 minimum, by the way.
Okay, so yeah, I'm looking to make sure that that's true for the ones.
$5 minimum. Tilray meets that. It's over $5. CRISPR would be my second pick, also a rebound play.
So yeah, that makes sense.
And my third play is a takeout play that I'm almost sure they will be bought out this year. So I got to go with them. Arenia Pharmaceuticals is number 3.
That would be very nice. That would be very nice.
My top 3 picks, let me review that. Tilray, CRISPR, and Arenia Pharmaceuticals. And 2 more to come. I just don't want to say them now because I'm not sure what they are. Do you have 3?
I do. I'm gonna stay with my water plays.
Why don't you post it? Can you type onto YouTube?
I'd have to get onto. I could do that. I have to get onto Facebook to do it. I could do it, no problem. Just give me a second. I'll talk about them in the meantime before I type them in.
Oh, I talk about it.
All right. So
by the way,
I have to be on YouTube.
Your top pick did very well last year. What's that consulting firm you picked? McKesson. McKesson did very well.
They were a pharmaceutical firm. I thought they were going to do okay.
Yeah, they
did. They were embroiled in that whole opioid thing, and I thought that they might get hurt if people were going to really crash down on it. But they didn't really, so they got away with it.
It turned out to be a terrific pick.
Yeah, like I said, I bailed out of it because of a morality issue. But you can't have morality and make money at the same time. Just ask most of the people we come across in our lives.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, and so I'm surprised that actually did as well as it did. I know that when I was looking myself at some of the winners, I saw 3M held its own.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was one of my holdings at the time.
I don't remember, but I'm going to show it. I'll show your picks.
Okay, yeah, because like I said, I'm having trouble getting on.
Right now, let's do your 3 picks.
All right, I'm just going to do it orally now. If you want to type them in.
I'll type them in for you.
All right. So the first one I wanted a water play, but I usually I'm in the fund, so let's just use American Waterworks
AWK
as a surrogate.
That
one actually I was in last year, and I'm doubling down on that one.
Right.
That was one of my big winners last year.
Right.
So I'm doubling down. My next one is Disney.
Very nice turnaround play. Anytime you get Disney on a little pullback, it's a good play.
Well, I wanted to touch content. I mean, people are saying that content, this whole idea that we're not going to be sequestered anymore. But if we go outside, we got the Disney parks.
I definitely like your first 2 picks. And what's your third pick?
And my third pick, I'm going to pick Lucid.
Okay.
I think Lucid's going to have a good year. That's my dark horse.
I think it's an excellent pick. I like your top 3 picks.
Well, I appreciate that.
Very much so. Maybe we should look at the charts of our top 3 picks as well. as a
Okay,
fan.
that'd be a good idea.
If we have time. Jiggly, do you have your top 3 picks yet? I want 5 from you ultimately.
Right. You could at least give us a couple of
But if you know for sure your top 3, then give it to me now.
Yeah, or at least your top 1.
MA, Sean, whoever wants to be in the contest. Linda and
Yeah, I wonder
Peter.
if Kamal's around. Kamal's been what's the one he's been big on lately?
I'm not sure.
He's been very. I'll look it up right this second.
Not sure what he's been big on.
But he's not. All right, here we go. We got MAs.
MAs.
And we got a couple from Jiggly. So MA, you get to see yourself because you're not on the.
Saba, Vaxart, Renia Pharmaceuticals.
He likes that. He likes highlight.
And DWAC. Very good.
Wow. Nice. You really think DWAC is not, it's gonna make it?
I think the long shot play is VXRT.
Well, yeah, a couple of these are. Highline also.
Yeah.
I've been in that one. I've been holding on to that one. I'm so low that even when good news comes, it's like a meth for me. And I refuse to average down because I refuse to buy any more of that stuff.
Okay.
But I'm surprised he's that bullish on it.
Jiggly's top pick is Starbucks.
Well, no, he wrote Playboy, but I don't know if that was just tongue in cheek.
Well, you never know with Jiggly.
Exactly.
Whether it's tongue in cheek or for real. Might be for real. PLB.
Oh, is PLBY Playboy Enterprises, or is that something else?
I don't know what it is. I never owned stock in Playboy.
I do own a lot of Playboy stock, though. Oh. Well, I did. I had to dump a lot of it after I got married.
And CSTL.
Yeah, what's that? Castle?
I don't know what it is. All right, so we'll try to look at as many of these as we can.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of these are dark horses.
He made a mistake. It's BSTL. BSTL.
Oh, BSTL. Okay. And he's doubling down on PLBY.
He really likes it. But I believe it. They have content as well, don't they?
They certainly do.
Yeah. No more staples on Naples.
Right, no more staples. Exactly, no staples on Naples. Right.
No more staples on Naples. Jiggly keeps changing the spelling. BSTL, CSTL. I don't know which one he wants.
I think it's CSTL.
It is CSTL. All right.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Let's go take a look at the charts.
Okay, I'll keep tabs on. No, you're right. He's very, very bullish on that one. Yeah. Well, you never know. This might be the year for a lot of that stuff. SBUX, I assume, is Starbucks, right?
Let's. Yeah, on the Dow, slightly down 0.5% on the Nasdaq. Everything's flat within like 0.5% either way. Very, very basically a day that we could have canceled. Could have been a holiday. Feels more like a holiday than a day for Wall Street.
It does. It's going to be a full day too.
Well, XERS is one that only that one.
I'm still holding that one a little bit.
I'm trying to show it spinning.
Yeah, no, I mean one of us is having internet issues. I don't know which one of us it is.
Probably me. PDUFA was approved yesterday, and I saw it trading in the lows. Now it's trading. I believe it's an analyst upgrade, and they're looking good. They did not collapse like VIB did on us. Remember what happened to us?
Yes.
VIB after approval. Right. So this is a relatively mild pullback from the pre-market. So it's looking good. And
right, the pre-market was about 65 cents at the Vive.
I'm happy for all those who went long. I didn't dabble in this one because I didn't like the chart. So I said, plus the fact that usually when producers are approved, they give it right back anyway. So it didn't tempt me, but it would have made a half a buck on a 250 stock. So wouldn't have been a bad gamble in retrospect. Well, I'm happy for Jay and others who are following this one.
Jay is very pleased.
Yeah, I'm very happy. And
Yes.
I mean, where it'll go from here, I don't know. But for now, it's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the FANG stocks. I already looked at Facebook before the show. I drew the charts sort of there. Facebook is loading slowly. We're down today 1% to 340.88 as it's slow to load. We're getting there, just slowly. All right, so I drew the clear-cut resistance is a double top at 354. That's clear-cut resistance. And clear-cut support is a low at 298.90, 299. So between 299 and 350 is a lot of room. And if you want to try to get finer, then you're looking at support right in here. I could draw this line. And we also want to see how it did on the year, of course.
Yeah, I was looking it up about Kamal, what he was really into. He's really into AABB and also BCRX. Those are the ones he's been talking about.
Good ones. I have large positions in BCRX, a relatively small one in AABB. But yeah, I'm thinking of including BCRX as my fourth pick, by the way.
Really? Okay.
I am giving it some thought.
Interesting.
I'm also giving thought to Albo on a turnaround play.
Albo, really?
Yeah, I'm giving it some thought.
Okay.
Then I would be leaving.
I was trying to stay away from the quick money that's been a lot of the conversation, only because these dark horses and these more blue chips might be the way to go. That's at least my approach this year.
That's true. That's true.
It's going to be a weird year. The other thing we should address at our year end or our predictions for next year is whether or not there's going to be a dip or a bubble burst. I have friends who think it's just going to be a little correction, and others who think it's just going to be a real run up and then a big drop down. Do you have an opinion on that?
It's so hard to predict, and there's so many endogenous factors.
Endogenous or exogenous?
Whatever the word is.
Well, outside or inside, remember?
I don't know. I think it'd be outside.
Okay, exogenous.
Exogenous.
Yeah, a lot of exogenous inputs.
Okay. Geopolitical events, all kinds of things.
Indeed.
Yeah. Climate control may get out of hand. I mean, the polar caps are melting, right? So who knows? And then we have the Omicron and the variants and all that other stuff.
Right. We still got plenty of Greek letters left.
There's possible black swan events that we can't even think of. So who knows? We're predicting, the crash. Hard to predict.
Yeah.
It's easier to predict pullbacks than it is to predict that crash, 20% or more.
Jiggly's funny. He goes, "Why don't you just be like Patrick and predict the end of the world on every show?"
Patrick is just scared of inflation, apparently.
Yeah, no, he is hyperinflation, right?
Hyperinflation. They're spending.
As a matter of fact, I think he said he was taking a break from us.
They're printing money. The money supply is increasing. Blah blah blah. You may not be wrong.
No, well,
if that's the case, buy Bitcoin. It'll do very well in a hyperinflation.
Yeah,
that's another thing. That's another thing I was thinking of as a pick: ETHE or GBTC, one of them.
Okay.
No ETFs. Would that be considered an ETF?
Right, no ETFs. I don't consider those ETFs. But GLD would be.
Okay.
But no, ETHE and because they're explicit on that one, and that's the only play on those specific commodities.
Yeah. So
so if you wanted to play gold, it's a question: how do you do that and follow our rules?
Yeah.
I guess you have to compare it.
Right now, Facebook doesn't look like it's my favorite pick amongst the FANGs because we have the 50 crossing the 100 back here at the end of October, and it never straightened out. So we have the 100 above the 50, above the 200 above the 50 as well. We just had another cross. The 50 crossed the 200. So we had two death crosses. And I think there are better FANGs to play than Facebook, probably. We're trading above the 50, which is good. But I think I see a lot of resistance here at this 354 level. It's not as clear to me that Facebook will make new highs as say, Apple, which looks like it definitely will.
If Facebook's banking its future on this virtual reality stuff, it's gonna turn out to be the case that Apple and Amazon are going to be the ones to capitalize on it.
Probably.
It depends. I mean, the thing is, people, look, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm starting to get sick and tired of socializing using these media. I don't care if it's on my face or in my screen in front of me. Nothing human contact.
Apple's already working on a device for augmented reality.
Look, I don't mind going into augmented reality to buy stuff, but if you want me to start, maintaining friendships that way, it's a different issue.
Right.
That's why I'm thinking. I'm thinking Amazon might be a better play on that.
So look at this beautiful chart from Apple. It's just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, unbelievable, right? And they even gave us a chance to buy in again.
The 9-day is way above the 50, above the 100, above the 200. Trading
50
above
bounced nicely off of the
trading above the 9. It's had a tiny little pullback, probably pull back to the 9, and continue on making highs. How many trillion is it going to hit now? 3 trillion.
Yeah, $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. Pretty soon we'll be talking about real money.
I think 3 trillion is they're approaching, something like that.
Yeah.
So when they make the new high, I think they'll be at 3 trillion. Let's look at what's the next thing? Amazon.
Are we going to go through all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? And you know what? I could put them all. I'll do that. I'll compare them that way. Comparison. All right. So I'll put Facebook on this one. I'll put Apple up next. And see what happens there. Apple is in blue. look at how it diverged. It was close to. Let's see if we can get to the beginning of the year.
Now, let me ask you a question, Dre. In terms of the fangs, if you wanted to talk about the one that was most representative, would or the most representative, would Facebook be the one?
No.
In other words, if you're gonna say what the center of the fangs are,
Amazon, because they're into so many businesses.
That's what I would say the Amazon or Apple, only because Facebook really is a special thing.
Or Google.
Google is a very interesting one because Google is representative of the whole gamut.
Yeah, Google or Amazon, and even Apple is a more narrow focus than Amazon, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm saying in terms of representing what the future holds for these guys. The problem is, I think Facebook is under a lot of scrutiny, and I think that that there's a big pivot, even in the name change. That if I was going to throw something out of the fangs, sooner than throwing Netflix out of the fangs, I'd throw Facebook out.
The thing with Amazon is both the Republicans and the Democrats agree to hate Amazon. And the woman in charge of, I forget what committee, is a known Amazon hater. They're petitioning to get her removed from I think, a monopolistic inquiry, whatever it is. I'm not sure.
So
but I know there's a lot of, for whatever reason, there are many Amazon haters, much more so than Apple, or seems like there's nothing but Apple lovers.
Well,
Facebook haters, definitely. Netflix,
I don't know. I guess I'm of the opinion that the fangs have been getting too much press in general. Yeah. I mean, I know they've been drawing a lot of money, but
they've been carrying the market, no question.
That's probably true.
Look at Apple pulling away from Facebook at the end. Let's see January. January is right. That's November. Mm-hmm. November. This is January, right about here. So this is better than a 50% move up from January, right? No, I'm still in October. I'm in 2020. I want to go a little bit further. Now still in November. Come on. Yeah, now I'm there. So it's a 44% move up, something like that. And Facebook had a nice move up too. Don't get me wrong; they're just fine. What are they up to? They're up about 25%, 23%, something like that. Not bad. But you'll see when I put in Amazon, they're going to be way below. Amazon. AMZN. Relative performance of the facts, kind of interesting over the course of the year. Here's Amazon all the way down here, and it's up 7% for the year, approximately. I think it's even less than that, but approximately, according to my chart, which I'm not quite sure where it's beginning. So it's around somewhere around the new year. It's actually 12.15, so it's a little bit off. I'd have to push it over a little bit more to 1.4. That looks better. So it's 5%, like I said. 5% move. And Apple is only a 35% move only. And Facebook is about 25%. Two more to do. Let's do two more. Just for the hell of it. Do Netflix and Google. I think Google might have been the best. Netflix.
Wouldn't doubt it.
What's that?
I said I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Netflix is what? Red. Netflix is red. We're down here. 18%. So they're second to worst. Amazon the worst at 5%, 18% on Netflix, 25% on Facebook. The only one to outperform the S&P of these four is Apple. But I think Google had a phenomenal year. So let's put in Google. So it's really, you might have been better off just keeping your money in SPY, as opposed to the FANGs. Google. Alphabet, excuse me.
Right. That's where the A is when you get rid of the G.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at it.
Yeah, there you go.
Crazy. Did it move up? I didn't realize it moved up that much. That is crazy move. Crazy move.
It's because they stayed out of trouble.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that stayed out of trouble. They didn't buy spaceships. They didn't.
I shifted my January. I shifted my January 5th date, so I messed it up a little bit again. Now I'm at 12:30. That's better. It's closer. Yeah, it's a tremendous 67%. Let's call it 65% move up.
Wow.
Tremendous. So if you owned equal amount of the FANGs, you would have done better because of Google than the S&P, than the SPY. I think. Amazon only 5% though.
Right. Well,
roughly,
I don't know. You're not complaining about holding Amazon.
No, but I'm saying if you split your money into five parts, or put 100% in SPY, what would you have done better in the SPY, or 1/5 in the Google, 1/5 in Amazon, 1/5 in Apple, 1/5 in Facebook, and 1/5 in Netflix? That's the question. Very close, I think. Just eyeballing.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Very close. So in other words, you don't have to be a genius. Just put your money in SPY and don't bother watching this show or any other show. The SPY has been amazing over the last 3 years. You would have doubled just betting.
Oh yeah, no, the SPY has been unbelievably.
You would have doubled.
Would have.
I'm going to undo these drawings.
Okay.
Now that I drew them. So what did we learn from that? Going forward, do we continue with Google? Do we switch over to the dog of the FANGs, Amazon? Or do we, what about Netflix as an 18% winner? Which one of the FANGs would you want to go with for next year?
Well, somebody once told me that there's never a wrong time to buy Amazon, and that when in doubt, Amazon.
So you would go with the dog of the FANGs, Amazon.
That just adds to the appeal of it, in my opinion. Only because the dogs of the doubt. Think about all your three picks. Your three picks are the dogs of the Dr. J.
Yes, CRISPR is I got the biggest loss on.
Right.
And Tilray. I mean,
That's been dogging me for about a year now.
yeah, it's been on a tremendous downslide. And my third pick was
AUPH, because you wanted to show some positivity.
AUPH. That's not been a dog, really.
Well, actually, if you were in it for as long as I have,
Uh-huh.
you would see that. Because I was in it. I was in it when Jake was talking about it about a year and a half ago,
Uh-huh.
and it's finally back where it was around then.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get rid of it. You say Amazon would be your pick of the five.
If
I
I was gonna buy any one of those stocks, yes.
I can't argue with it, but I think Google scares me because it's ran so much. So
Right.
yeah, Apple is getting really top heavy too.
Well, Apple is likely, if there really is going to be a move towards this whole virtual. You have the iCar and you have these goggles or whatever else that they're going to start making. They'll probably have something where it doesn't hurt your face, or something. I mean,
Yeah,
they're talking about people keeping these things on for hours on end. Meanwhile, just what was it, a year ago when people were making fun of people wearing the Google glasses? Remember, they'd
right.
have the glasses that had little monitors on them.
So you're not sure that Apple will do better than Google?
I think Apple will do better than Google,
I
but
think
I,
they
I
will.
also think I also think that unless one of these companies gets innovative in making these things more comfortable and less stigmatized,
Right.
that VR is just going to be for, like I said, shopping and for gaming, but not
Yeah.
socializing.
As we're talking, the Meta keeps going down. So maybe we should quit talking for those Facebooks.
Well, this was supposed to be a year-end retrospective anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're
So
right. You can't talk about this year without talking about these stocks. I get it.
yes. So I'm going
You
to
know,
clear the drawing.
other people have been
Clear
having,
the
like I said, people
drawing.
talking up XCRS. We saw that going. People talking up.
I have to X out these.
Well, did you want to start charting people's choices
Yeah,
like Jiggly's Playboy?
I do. I do. Maybe our choices too.
Oh, okay. Well, we always capitalize the conversation. And I don't
Let's
know.
chart.
For some reason, when I get on this show, I only hear you and me talking.
Let's chart everybody's number one pick.
Okay, fair enough.
So
And we also have a couple other people join the game, so I can give you theirs as well.
Jiggly's number one is Playboy.
PLBY,
Right?
yeah.
Playboy is way off its high of $60 and has come from the lows of 2021 lows in March of 11 and a quarter. So it's trading today at 2.5 times that, 2.5 times the lows, but well off its highs, somewhere in the middle. And let's put back the averages. I made a mistake. I X'd out all the averages. Just because it's a new year, I'm going to do something different with the averages.
Are you gonna do different indicators?
Yes, I'm going to take the Fibonacci numbers. So instead of the 9-day, I'm going to go with an 8-day. So let's
Really?
do an
Okay.
8-day.
That's
Just for
that's
fun.
a
Just for
bold
fun.
move, Dr. J. I mean,
No, this is just for fun.
okay. All
I'm
right, so
allowed,
you're gonna get
I'm allowed,
Fibonacci on this.
I'm allowed to have fun. So that instead of the 9, I'll use the 8. Instead of the 50, I'll use the Fibonacci 55.
Okay.
Moving average, Fibonacci 55. And instead of the 100, I'll use Fibonacci perfect square, 144. I don't know how many Fibonacci numbers are perfect squares. There might be the only one. It's an interesting question. You know?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting question to me.
Mathematically.
Right. From just like, like I said, for a Sir Edmund Hillary kind of thing, because it's there.
Yeah, just because.
The implications in terms of what that would mean are a little lost on me. But
anyway, let's take a look at the 8. You know what? Let's throw the 21 day in there. Fib 21.
Which is indeed a Fibonacci number.
Yes. I know my Fibonacci numbers. There's no question. No question that Dr. J knows Fib. A Fib, so I should know it. What should I make this? Black? Black. All right, so black or blue, whatever the color that happens to be. So now I'm all mixed up with the.
Yeah, I know exactly.
With the color.
I don't think that. Yeah, that in between number, that 24, doesn't ever help us really.
The 21.
The 21.
Well, a lot of people look at the 20, so that's why I threw it.
Do they really?
Yeah, the 20.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so what are we on? We're on the daily. Let me make this separate this a little. So we're looking at Playboy through a different lens, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm surprised it had that big jump up when it did.
The 20 is above the 144. This is the 55. So the 55 and the 20, 55 crossed the 20, which is not a great sign, short term. The 55 crossed 100, which was good, right in here. And the green is the short term, the shortest term, 8-day, is heading down. So it's clear that we're in a downtrend right now. But
yeah.
But let's see if we can draw the line.
That's why Jiggy's in October they acquired a social content platform for 30 mil.
What did they acquire?
A social content platform.
Okay. Where you can talk in dirty, that kind of thing.
Probably more about trading links to decent videos.
So anyway, this clear-cut support, very good support, about 5 hits, right at the low, the recent low. So it does look like it's very close to excellent support at 25.20. On the other hand, if it breaks that support, then we could be looking at retesting the lows back here. So while we have excellent support at 25.20, the next stop, if it pierces that, would be like 20. So it's in a downtrend. It's always dangerous to buy in a stock that's in a downtrend. But Jiggly thinks it's a turnaround play. So
well, this thing might mean something. And again, if I'm wrong about this this metaverse business, I think a company, a social network around this content would be adopted faster than one around, socializing in Facebook.
You mean you want to see porn in 3D?
No, I'm talking about, if we're talking about immersive technologies, it's sort of a weird history of humanity. Like, for instance, if it was for certain kind of pictures, the printing press wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Playboy is really not porn anyways.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's a lifestyle kind of thing, and I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying if you're gonna have something to discuss in the virtual realm, it's more likely to be something more salacious than politics.
Yeah.
My opinion.
This might be an interesting play.
If it bounces off that line that you drew, then it might have some good upside.
It looks like an interesting play. I mean, the fact that it has this firm support at 25.20 makes it interesting. And let's face it, you don't have to gamble much if you dabble in it. If you take a shot with it and it goes below 25.20, you don't have to have much patience. You take a small loss. Always better to take a small loss than a big loss. I should have learned that with CRISPR.
I should have learned that with 90% of the stocks we've been talking about.
Yeah. All right, but
I'm a bit stubborn.
Not bad. What's your top pick, Professor Spike?
My top pick was AWK.
AWK. Let's take a look.
The water play.
Water play.
But like I said, AWK is also doubling down from the prior year.
The 8-day is very strong. It's in a big bull run at this point.
Yeah, I know. So is that going to extend? But
well, it's about to make a new high for the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't already, I'll draw the line. Very strong year it's had. It's about to make a new high. I don't see how it could miss making a new high, and it looks very good. Support at the 8-day moving average. The 20 is above the 55, is above the 144. Everything is the way you want it to be. It's phenomenally bullish. It's the stock to buy on any pullback, and it pays a dividend too, right?
I believe so. Like I said, my way into this stock is through the 4 or 5 ETFs I own in water. This one and Danaher are the biggest holdings on most of those.
I remember when you first joined the show, it was $80. That was about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's the year, as you can see, certain parts of the year have been somewhat, less attractive, but.
Well, it had its pullbacks, and it looks like it's a buy the dip type stock.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, I should keep an eye on this one as an individual play also.
Excellent pick. Let's take a look.
Okay, so let's look at MA's first choice.
All right, what's that?
Let me see. Well, he put Sava first.
All right, Sava. Take a look at Sava. Off the charts. Off the charts is probably not going to look that great. It's had a really bad fall from grace, as we know. The fundamentals are quite good outside of the citizens petition that's ongoing, but the fundamentals on this one, based on the data that they presented, is very attractive, and it has support. It broke support, put in a low back here on the 20th at 42.21, and that is now support. So 42.21 is, but it also looks good right at this 40, right where it's trading basically. It looks very good here for support at 40. Oh, what is that? 40. What is this low? 41.22, and this low was 35. So 41.22 is the support, near-term support, and we're also forming a triangle here. So we're coming to a little bit of a head.
Well, I mean, if you see the pennant, then that's going to come to a head very soon.
Yeah.
Question is whether or not that's a bullish or a bearish pennant, because the entry into it is from the top, not from the bottom. But we know fundamentally that good news is expected.
Trying to figure out what to draw. You could also draw this descending channel. That's another thing you can draw.
Right.
I don't like to draw that, but you can draw that. But the pennant is this. Oh, is it? Yeah, I guess so. You got this hit and this hit. And then you could tighten that if you want, but I think that it goes all the way out. This goes all the way out to about the end of January. But it could, in other words, it could just do not much till the end of January before it decides to break out.
Right.
Which is very, very possible. Very possible.
That is very possible.
The chart is not what you want to see with the 144 above the 20, above the 8. The 55 is below the 144. Yeah, so it's not
because the chart would be indicating that when it does break, it's going to break down.
Well, you do a good note. The 8-day looks like it's about to cross the 20. So that's a positive note. And the other good note is that aside from this one dip to the 35 level, which happened on one bad day, when the shorts really put out they sick to put the pit bulls on us that day with all kinds of attacks. Allegations that the journal was questioning the results, all kinds of stuff. That was a bad day for the stock. But if you take away that one day, it looks pretty safe here at this level for a stock that's under fire. It's maintaining that 4150 area and up. I like Sava. I mean, I have a relatively small position compared to what I had when it made its big move.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of adding to it.
And I'm still holding my expensive lots, the $100 lots.
I think
I didn't have the heart to sell them.
I think it's an excellent pick for the year because if the dogs are called off, if they're cleared of all allegations and the lawsuit goes away, this is $100 stock.
No, we believe this to be overall that value. If what they have is really what they think they have.
You're taking a chance that it could go to like under 10 or 100 very easily. More likely 100. I think it's a good pick.
Do you think the FDA is particularly gun shy after what happened with Biogen?
Nothing to do with Biogen. They just have to investigate because of this petition. I think they're obligated to, and they are. SEC and the NIH. They're questioning now the slide presentation at the Alzheimer's conference.
Right, and I think that's just a bunch of hay.
Yeah, even if the CEO put it together and slanted it a little bit in his favor, big deal.
Well, they were saying I think was that the one? There was. I keep on getting that one and the other one mixed up. That they were saying two slides look too similar, and then somebody said, "Well, they're from adjacent pieces of the same cell."
No, you're absolutely right. That was having to do with the original preclinical work. But I think that's basically cleared up. I think it's cleared up to the satisfaction of CUNY, more or less.
Was that this one? This was the CUNY one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I guess the investigation still goes on, but what really matters to me is the phase 2 data was phenomenal. I don't even care if the clinical data was totally fudged.
Right.
I know other people care, but I don't care.
Well, I mean, look, if we're this much closer to a good treatment,
Yeah, I mean, if you
everyone's
show me a repurposed drug, like I asked you about fluvoxamine,
right,
fluvoxamine for treating Omicron, and
right.
you kind of laughed at me and said an SSRI that probably doesn't even work for depression or whatever your comment was.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just didn't like the look. The thing is that, look, even shining a light up your butt might kill the disease apparently. But
If that did kill the
it,
disease, it should then shine away.
no, but I'm just saying in terms of finding what might be. We know that the virus itself is very volatile and very easily killed, but not once it's in your body doing its damage, right? And so, to tell me that a depression drug might be a good treatment for COVID isn't really going to surprise me.
Actually, the use of fluvoxamine is for panic disorder, but
Okay,
it is an SSRI.
right? And just the fact that it had so many it's so many anti-inflammatory. I think the point of what I was saying was that um, if for my depression pills, I'd rather them not affect my body that much. Let it affect my brain a little bit by inhibiting this serotonin uptake, but don't start throwing other things like anti-inflammatory features and stuff like that. I'm not taking the pill for that. I think
Yes, but
that was pretty much my remark about that, which is why I said if it had that much impact that it could affect COVID, then I wouldn't want it as an antidepressant drug.
well, it's not really used for depression.
No,
It's
but if it's for
really
panic disorder, that's a different story. I got you.
it's used for panic.
Okay. Well, then
I
in that
mean,
case, sure.
it's certainly related, though. I think, or,
Yeah.
it's sort of related. Anyway, we're getting off the beaten track a little bit.
Yeah, we
Bottom
are.
line is,
We didn't do your top one, which was Tilray,
okay, let's do my top one.
and then and then there's a couple other people who played the game. I'll get theirs. Yeah, because we're at the hour mark anyway, so it's time to get off after that.
All right, so let's do one more after my top one. My top one, my only defense of this is how low can it go?
Hmm.
I think marijuana will get, on the off chance it gets legalized in more states or federally, this thing will fly. So it's worth a shot.
Yeah, the question is when you call on that bottom. But you're right, it is rounding a little bit.
I don't have to have it perfect. Let it go to $5, but by the end of the year, it'll be 15. I'll be happy.
Understood.
And let's take a look finally at one more. What was the other one?
Well, I was going to do. RMF said his first was PDSB.
P.
P. PDSB. I hadn't heard of that one yet.
Precision drugs.
I guess that's the. So I guess this was from RMF Consulting, who's.
Well, like all the rest of the biodrac, it's pretty much at the low of the year.
Showing you nipple signs though.
Yeah, not much. The 8 day is below the 20, below the 55, below the 144. It's perfectly inverted. It's a turnaround play like some of the others that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And let's take a look at the weekly. What the heck? I gotta undraw. This is ridiculous. Too many lines. Oh man. The start of the big move is really this candle here. And the low, why don't it show me the low? find that. It blinks right off, you know.
Mm.
You know, 460 I saw. Low is 460. So that's where it started from, back here in May, middle of May. It's basically double. Even though it's come down a lot, it's doubled off the
Right.
May,
And now
off
it's
the
filled
May
again.
low. So this one looks interesting. It's still a double on the in 6 months. And let's draw the line right at the top of this candle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to draw it in the middle of the big green candle as well. So let's do that. All right. So I drew a bunch of lines. And basically we're trading at the top of at the high of that day, that week rather.
Right.
We're right at support. And if you look at it on the weekly, it looks a hell of a lot better than when you look at it on the daily. So, you know, the 20 is still below the 8, but the 50 is above, 55 is above the 144. So it looks a lot better on a long-term chart. It shows a lot of upward momo if you look long-term. So I like this one just from the chart. I didn't like it from the daily, but when I look at the weekly, I can see why our viewer likes this one as his top pick. I don't know the fundamentals, but the chart is just fine.
Right, I agree.
It's at support.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, RMF, if you want to, join the conversation for next year, then definitely send over to Dr. J those picks. We might mine them off the side, but I think we're more likely to just take them when they're given on the site.
I think gene editing is the future. I think CRISPR being partnered with AbbVie and another big pharma is the leader of the gene editing space right now. I'm in the hole, deeply in the hole. So part of it is wishful thinking. I have to give you that. But the chart has been in a pretty bad downslide, but it looks like it finally bottomed at $67. I think it's $100 stock at least, and from that would be a 20% move up from where it is. So 20% for the year is okay. I'll probably go higher than that. Could go higher than that anyway. Gloria wanted me to do one. Can we write this down for the next time?
Sure.
VAWR.
Not a problem.
Gloria, we'll get around to that next time.
All right.
And we're done.
Yeah, we're
Happy
done. Everybody
New Year.
have a great end of the year and beginning of the next year, and we'll see you in a couple days.
Yes.
And enjoy yourself. And stay safe.
If you definitely send me on Twitter or on StockTwits, either one. Send me your 5
StockTwits work also, yes.
Yeah, it's either StockTwits or Twitter. Let me put in, send me a direct message at Jerkchats. Follow me at Jerkchats if you don't already. At Jerkchats. Congratulations to all those XERS players, and till next year. Ciao.
Ciao.